Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I will get the prayer and pledge, and I believe we have, okay?
Yeah. I have to invite Principal Amy Wiley to the podium.
Good evening, Mr. Castano, Madam President, and Mr. Justice, from the board. We are excited, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight as the proud principal at Oak Crest Elementary, because OC is the place to be. This evening, we're excited to showcase some of the wonderful students and clubs that make our campus special. Each group has prepared some information to share with you about their clubs. And to kick off the evening, we'll call them up and welcome them for prayer and pledge. So, please help me welcome Simone Sarden, Liana Castillo, Oscar Aguilar, and these three students are part of our Mustard Seeds Club, which is led by our Oak Crest parent, Miss Castillo, who's also here. We also have from our chess club, sponsored by our fourth grade teacher, Miss Erin Barrett. We have Simone Sarden, who doubles in both, Zakio Yoranda. And then from I Play, which is hosted by our PE coach, Gabriel Sanchez, we have Uriah Vasquez, Scarlett Vasquez, and Alexa Aguayo.
Lord, we thank you for the district of AC Central. We thank you for continuing and provide your divine guidance and support for every school, every leader, and every educator. We thank you as well for every student in their households. Thank you for watching over every student and for doing your good will in all of our lives. We praise you and we bless you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray, amen.
Amen. And because we're in the language of this, we're going to do it in English and Spanish.
Señor, te damos gracias por el distrito de E-Central, te damos gracias por seguir apoyando y guiando a cada escuela, cada líder y cada educador. Te damos gracias también por cada estudiante y sus hogares. Gracias por cuidar a cada estudiante y por hacer tu buena voluntad en todas nuestras vidas. Te alabamos y te bendecimos. Lo declaramos en el poderoso nombre de Jesús. Amén.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos con libertad y justicia para todos.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Con la bandera de Texas te prometo lealtad a ti, Texas, un estado de Dios, uno inclusive.
Church teaches us how to be good sports. We always tell one another good games when we shake hands. Chess club is for students in grade second through fifth. We learn strategies on how to put our opponent in checkmate. To play, you need to concentrate, use problem-solving skills, and try to anticipate your opponent's moves. It's good for strengthening your brain. Chess teaches us how to be good sports. We always tell one another good game when we shake hands.
And then the spirits can share the stool.
I'm not going to get word for it. But just to summarize, chess club is a safe place for students to come in the mornings before school starts so they can use some skills. And our ultimate goal is for them to then apply per sport. Compete against other school districts that are also participating in a sport tournaments that involve soccer, volleyball, basketball, and flag football.
Current accomplishments in ISD. Got third place out of 60 schools in the soccer tournament. Got first place in the volleyball tournament. Plan on getting first place again on March 27th. Plan on getting first place in the flag football tournament on May 10th. We would love for anyone to attend these tournaments and share some. As you can see, this is our The things I like about IPET are competing against other school districts and being able to show my talent. The things I like about IPET are being able to make new friends and compete against other school districts. The things I like about IPET is learning how to do new sports and learning new people and
All right, if you'll help me give them a big round of applause. We're super proud of all of our kids and their program. They stay after school a lot of the time to do these practices, multiple days a week. And we appreciate our teacher sponsors who help make that possible. We would love to get more involvement in IPLA, because it is really good. Our kiddos love it. It really does build that sense of teamwork, and then our school loves to just celebrate them when they win. So it is a really great opportunity. But we also want to recognize their parents and families who help make this possible, because they come pick them up after school, get them there early for chess club. So if you are a parent of any of our friends up here in our clubs, if you will also please stand at this time and be recognized.
All right, next item on the agenda is we have some awards and recognitions.
Yes, sir. First, we'd like to call up from Legacy Middle School, Fabian Rodriguez. Come on down. So Fabian is a seventh grader at Legacy, and he's known for his strong math skills. With guidance from his teacher, Ms. Perkins, Fabian has learned to use the abacus and has mastered solving problems and rails out equations that are presented to him. Due to his hard work and dedication to mathematics, Fabian has earned a spot in the National American Printing House Abacus Bee for students with visual impairments. He'll be traveling to Louisville, Kentucky in March to represent Legacy Middle School, East Central ISD, and the state of Texas in this nationwide math competition. We wish you the best of luck, Fabian, and know that the entire East Central community is behind you, and we are proud of you. Congratulations. We'd also like to recognize his family and our friends if they're in the audience. Would y'all please stand too? Thank you so much for sharing. Next, we'd like to call up Fatima Abuisha. So in an inspiring achievement, Fatima Abuisha, the Associate Dean at East Central High School, has been distinguished with this highly coveted Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching in the field of science. This esteemed honor is granted by the White House and has been recognized to outstanding K-12 educators since its inception in 1983. This is the pinnacle of recognition for teachers across the United States who excel in math and science education. She now joins a prestigious group of honorees, and this marks a significant milestone in her career. And Fatima is a bright beacon for educators everywhere. Congratulations, Fatima, on this incredible achievement. We have many of her family and her friends also in the audience. I think we have some over here. Thank you so much. Can we recognize them as well? Thank you. Next up, we have the Child Nutrition Department. So Child Nutrition Managers, Ms. Simon from Cass Lee, Ms. Sanchez from East Central High School, Ms. Vallejo from Heritage Middle School, and Ms. Brown from Legacy, along with dietitian Ms. Robinson, are here tonight representing the department of over 100 child nutrition team members. ECISD Child Nutrition has been nationally recognized by the United States Department of Agriculture in 3 categories: innovation in the preparation of school meals, innovation cultural diversity presented in their school meals, and innovation for nutrition education. Additionally, the Texas Department of Agriculture recently announced that our Child Nutrition Department has been awarded the prestigious 2024 Farm Press Challenge Cream of the Crop Award. These national and state recognitions are a true testament to the department staying aligned in its mission to contribute to the success of East Central ISD and its students by providing nutritious, well-balanced meals in a healthy, friendly, and welcoming environment. We would also like to recognize in the audience tonight the Child Nutrition Leadership Team of Ramona Love, Veronica Villarreal, and Meredith Rogas. Could y'all also stand so we can recognize you as well? So congratulations to the entire nutrition department for all of your hard work and for this exceptional accomplishment. Let's give them one more round of applause. Do we have any family or friends of those that were up here? If you don't mind standing too so we can recognize you. Any family or friends? Campus principals? Other people? Yeah, thank you. So next up, we are going to recognize, for leading the EC way, Victoria Mills from Tradition Elementary School. Stay there, Victoria.
Victoria Mills, a literacy coach at Tradition Elementary, is dedicated to student success. She supports teachers and steps in when needed, ensuring students receive high-quality instruction. She took on a classroom role when the opportunity arose, providing leadership and guidance. Her commitment to collaboration was evident in the GROW meeting, where she helped develop a strategy plan tailored to her students. Her leadership has already improved classroom behavior and engagement, setting the stage for continued success. Mrs. Mills sets clear, measurable goals that align with ECISD's vision. She turns aspirations into achievements by empowering teachers, students, and staff. Her ability to motivate and create a thriving learning environment makes a lasting impact. With Mrs. Mills leading the way, student success knows no limits.
So congratulations again, Mrs. Mills. I know that we have some proud family members in the audience. Would y'all also please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you so much.
So with that, that concludes our awards, and we have no public comments. And so, we're gonna take about a 10-minute break so that, I know there might be some kiddos that have some homework. Maybe or maybe not, but parents will need
right now, as of last week, I'm beating Bobby Blunt, so as long as I beat Bobby Blunt, created this opportunity for us, but, I'm in second place, but, I'm hitting Florida tomorrow. I got OPRES last Friday, so, as long as our students are reading and we remind them that that's how we learn, then that's my goal, and I guess I'm accomplishing it very well. But it's fun to go, read with them. That's just some, classroom photos of me reading. That's the chili cook-off that we did for the softball team. It was, better weather than it was last year, so, I did not have my toes frozen. But it was a lot of fun. My nephew and brother-in-law got second place, so that was cool. Mo and, Coach Mulkey were the judges. I never can win. I enter a team all the time, but it was big. But, and then, so OPRES, we went to OPRES, and we got to visit with, the guys from Joris. They showed us the new wing. It's amazing, like chill bumps, super cool to have that, getting ready for our littles over there. And then, some more photos of there's Tradition and Valley, and we were able to see, Maverick get his Student of the Month, last month at, Heritage, so we learned how to do rock, paper, scissors, so we had the kids challenge each other. That was super cool. Just more photos. I got to hang out with some cast lead people. They asked me to help judge their beginning stages of their PBLs for cast med, which was, I've never done that portion of the PBL competition, so it was interesting to see the beginning stages of their what their problems and their solutions. And that's it. I had a video. You can get the video. It was hilarious. It's Emilio doing his bear voices. It was at OPRES, and it was his first time, and the kids like jumped. It was so great. And I didn't post it on social media because I wanted to play him here, but it's okay. I'll post it.
We'll have to do it for when he gets back, yeah.
It was fun.
I was able to attend the, military ball, the ROTC glass ball the other night, which was super nice with, some of my colleagues. And, then I was also, like Ginger said, a judge at the chili cook-off, which was tough because there was a lot of good chili out there, especially on, it wasn't too cold of a day, but it was cold enough to enjoy the chili. But, and that's about it. So I'm looking forward to some more fun stuff throughout the district to attend.
Oh gosh, where have I not been? I have been to Harmony, Heritage, Oakcrest. Went to the girls' senior night basketball game, where they recognized the seniors there. At the girls' softball game, in fact, where Amelia and I were there. Didn't get pictures of that, but here's some pictures of me over at Harmony, and I'll get to that other picture right here in a second. The military ball, my wife and I had planned to attend. My mother-in-law had a medical incident, and we were not able to, so she had a nice evening gown. It was as elegant as she was ever gonna look, and unfortunately we're not able to go, so that's what happened, missing there. And she is selling herself short. I saw the list, since I'm on the list too for the reading, she's got like some 700 minutes of reading time. I'm not even on the list anymore, I apologize. I tried to do it,
Well, I
read.
wasn't gonna brag, but I did make the cut for some top.
She did, she made it, so I should have brought the list to show that, but that was really nice. Up here on the right, I was actually over at Heritage for the Superintendent Student of the Month there. Anissa Santos, interestingly enough, no relation, I swear, I didn't have nothing to do with it, I was quite surprised myself. Just happened to go over there from an invite. And then, now I remembered why I am not allowed to go to sporting events, the boys basketball playoff game. Thought I was back in high school again, getting a little right. I think this man was getting worried. It's like, oh boy, he's gonna get thrown out. But been everywhere and enjoying it, having a really, really good time supporting all of our kids. Over here at speaking of the Final Four, was there as well, and showing the actual NCAA trophy, basketball trophy was there at Pecan Valley. Had to get a picture of that thing. So as the name mentions, Final Four, what she's doing there in the reading. And of course, Mr. Scott doing his job there, talking to the kids, and in full support of everything that they're doing over there. So busy month. There are some pictures of some of the things that were in the hallway for the senior night basketball game. Very elaborate, my goodness, what they did. I just thought it was really neat to take some pictures there with Coach Ariola again for that night. The girls did pull it out. It was good. So I plan to be around more schools, more events, so you'll see me around.
Okay, I got a chance to go over to Legacy for the teacher of the year. That's Mrs. Owens. She's a biology teacher, and principal Mrs. Barbara. And I took them a small token gift for her desk and a small plant. And then I was at the chili cook-off. That's myself and Mo, and we were judges at the chili cook-off. Great fundraiser. Kick off the softball season. I think it's getting larger and larger, and we really enjoyed tasting all the chili. You know, I guess with the best personally. Okay, this is they call it rodeo night, family night at Sinclair. I went over there. It was a great fundraiser, a great turnout. The band came over. Band, when the high school band athletes or pep squad come to the elementary school, I think it's a great recruiting tool for those kids to see those athletes and band and things like that. But that was a big turnout also at St. Clair Elementary a couple nights ago. Also, the teacher of the year is Ms. Hayden. There, she's a third grade teacher there. That's myself. Mr. Harvey also took her a small plant for her desk, and congratulations to her. That next picture over there, that's Mrs. Dotson's first grade class. And I just had to bring that up because I'm a frequent visitor to that class, and Ms. Dotson does an excellent job with that talking point of getting all the information out that happens at Sinclair, all the information concerning her classroom, her assignments, her tests coming up. So no parent or grandparent can say they didn't know, because she does an excellent job through that talking point. That's my grandson there. You know, he was struggling a little bit staying on task. He would log himself off. Mrs. Dotson had to go back and log him on. And he was just struggling to stay on task, but he hung in there back in, well, that's about his third set of headphones he tore up. So I go over to Walmart and get him a pair, bring it back. Mr. Harvey would get them to him. And, but now he's beginning to not log himself off. And in October, he didn't do well on his math assessment test. He took the test again in February. Out of 100, he scored 100. And so he really is getting back on task, and I'm really proud of that little guy there, because we got him going. Even his classmates even let Ms. Dotson know when he logs off. So and also, before I finish here, let me see, the bi-district basketball game. Boy, that was a really exciting game. We went down to Dilly a couple of nights ago, and I'll tell you, our kids really showed up. We didn't match up in size with Loretta Alexander, but we matched up with quickness and a bigger heart to win, because that was really a good game, and I really enjoyed the game, and our kids stepped up when they rang the bell. We answered the bell and did a good job of going into the next round, area round. Also, I just want to send a congratulations out to Coach Cox. I sent him an email congratulating him. He has a swimmer that's going to state, and she'll be swimming tomorrow. I think she's swimming tomorrow at 9:30 on Freelon, and she's swimming the 50-yard girls freestyle for state, and I think that's outstanding. To have a swimmer going to state, and we don't even have a swimming pool. So this thing we have a pool now. I wanted to congratulate them. Also, he sent me a video. He was so excited that I contacted and recognized him, and I try to recognize all the sports and let the coach know I don't want to ignore some of them. And so he sent me a video of her state qualifying swim, and I'll tell you, if any of you guys want to see it, take a look at it. He'll send it to you. And we wish you all the luck tomorrow. I think that's my name.
Wow, okay. Well, two things I did, attended, and, the one that just blew me away was the one at Toyota, driving possibilities that was sort of hush at first, but then I realized that it was such a wonderful opportunity for our kids. The African Valley Lions, were just, in rare form in terms of being just excellent in their behavior, and all of the elected officials and everyone just fell in love with them. And this is, what I'm talking about is that $6.5 million grant, STEM grant that was honored to Pecan Valley and to the community, making a lot of jobs. And so that was really, it was a wonderful, very well attended, and just a monument to what we do and can do in this district. And then the other one was the ROTC ball, which was one of my favorites. I loved it, and the kids were so well behaved and so beautifully dressed, and it was just an honor to be around them. So our school is actually doing an excellent job in terms of the community and in the media, and it is just a pleasure to be connected to the school district. You see all the other things that are going on that are crazy. We can still shout and be proud of our school district. That's it for me.
All right, thank y'all. All right, so the next section is 7, Superintendent Report, 7.1, Board Goals Update. Mr. Chiscano?
Yeah, Madam President, trustees, in your packet, as is the case each month, you'll see 2 different handouts, one of which says February data for the school board, with today's date. The other is a detailed breakout of some of the discipline data. It won't be on the slide deck, but it is there for you to see more fine-grained information regarding the data associated with behavior. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Barnes.
Hello, good evening, Madam President, Presses, Mr. Toscano, and board members. Tonight, we're bringing you updates on attendance, discipline, college and career, military readiness, and achievement data. So first, we're going to just take a look at our attendance data. One of the things that I wanted to point out is our goal is 94%. And so for the month of February, we're at 92.7%, which we're seeing a dip from last month. One of the things to keep in mind, though, is as the year progresses, you're going to see a decline throughout the year. But if you were to dig into each campus, we still have some things that we're celebrating, because at this same time last year, we're still seeing increases. So if you go ahead and take a look at each campus's, one of the things I wanted to point out, for example, is Sinclair. In January, they might not have met the mark, they were a little down, but then now in February, if you were to compare from this time to last time, they've shown an increase. And so with that, one of the things is basically whenever we see that there are hot spots, we pretty much have the same process. Every campus leadership team, they're constantly looking at this data daily. They're looking at it with their leadership teams, APs are looking at it in AP meetings, and they're constantly trying to figure out what are we gonna do to respond to the data. So even before we get here, they've already come up with a plan. One of the things that they're seeing that's high leverage is basically making those touch points with AP. So the assistant principals are constantly calling parents, reaching out to them. Teachers, they're constantly doing that. They're always giving incentives for students being at school. One of the things that we did notice, though, is that, sometimes kids are gonna get sick. And we noticed that that was something that bubbled up this past month with students getting sick and staff members getting sick as well. If we look at our discipline data, the goal is for 30% reduction, so the magic number that we want to hit is 70%. So for the month of February, we hit our goal, so that's exciting. but we wanna go ahead and look at it by campus. And so for the month of February, again, you wanna look for 70% or less. So we do see some celebrations, and then we see some hot spots. So for example, we know the secondary campuses, Heritage, Legacy, and East Central High School, they're bubbling up, and then Sinclair. And so with that, each campus, their data tells a different story. So it's not gonna be the same at each campus. Again, the same process. What's your next steps whenever you notice that you haven't hit your mark? But with that, one of the things is some of them are responding with resetting expectations at the campus level. Some people are responding with, you know what, we need to retrain teachers. Some of them are also responding with what's the difference between a minor and a major, which we know that, but sometimes we need to be reminded and calibrate on, is this truly a referral? And so those are just some possibilities. Also, sometimes what it could be is that you have a few students that are increasing the referrals. So then the conversation is, okay, what are we doing to support those kids? Do we need to go ahead and get CIS involved to support the kid? It's having further conversations and discussions to support them to wrap around services. So I'm giving examples of some of these campuses, but the thing is every story is going to be different.
Ms. March, just by way of reminder, trustees, if you look at Sinclair, for example, that 77% is a little bit above the goal of 70% this year, but remember our goal is a 30% reduction. So what that 77% means is that there are 23% less referrals at Sinclair at this point than there was at this point last year, but our goal is 30%. So they're 23% reduction, so they're a little bit behind the goal. So I just wanted to add that.
And so then just with some of the discipline notes, 7 of the 8 elementary campuses are on track. Cass Lee is on track. And then you'll notice that even with some of the campus, there's a small numbers of like office referrals that can make a big difference, right? So for example, I think like Heidi Forest or Salado have maybe like 17 referrals for the year. So 1 or 2 students can increase it or decrease it.
Good evening. I'm here tonight to share with you guys some really exciting news around college career and military readiness. And we also have some really great students that I'll talk in just a few minutes too. So we saw a really significant increase in our students that at ECHS, particularly that are college career and military ready. This month, our campus team at ECHS is doing some really great work responding to the needs of the students and evaluating their data and where they're at, working with their teachers. And so we saw a 13% increase in our students being prepared for post-secondary life from January to February. So we're gonna continue working with those students. Cass Lead, as I reported to you last month, is on track to meet their goal. They're still working with students to get industry-based certifications to get that career-ready percentage up just a little bit more. But we are at 100% for Cass Lead right now. A few things just to let you know that we're starting to work on. We have approximately 55 students that have currently certified in various different certifications throughout our career tech ed programs. But we do have another 80 that are scheduled to test before the end of February. So we anticipate that number to go up tremendously going into March. And then we have another 53 students that are scheduled just throughout our medical assisting and nursing aid programs to test in the month of March and the beginning of April. So we know that as we get into this, we call it IBC season, we're going to be seeing a significant increase in the number of students who are career ready. We also have worked with ECHS to mobilize some Texas College Bridge Days. So that's a remedial type of course through Texas College Bridge that prepares students to attend 95 colleges across the state of Texas. And that does count as the college ready graduate. So students are either working through English or through mathematics to be ready through that capacity. So we're working with our English 4 teachers and our students to become prepared in that capacity. And then we are ACT school day testing our kids the next couple of weeks. All of our juniors are going to be sitting for the ACT school day, so it's the exact same thing they would have done on a Saturday, but we wanted to bring it to more accessibility to our students at the high schools. So they will be testing on March 5th, and then our seniors who did not test last school year as juniors will be tapping them on the shoulder again to invite them to come back and take that assessment. So we have a lot of moving parts right now that are going on. We do expect to see that number grow significantly before we report back to you at the March board meeting. Oakcrest Highland Forest on the rise, Legacy, and our sixth grade iteration as well. Legacy ECR is trending up. Now ECR stands for Extended Constructed Response. It's basically like writing a one-page essay in response to a question. And last year on the STAR test, we had over 50% of our students score pretty low at a 0 on that ECR prompt. And at the state interim right now in spring, we have less than 3 campuses where that is trending at 50% or lower. So everyone else is higher. So we're seeing great gains in writing, putting a lot of attention on helping students get their voice and craft technical writing skills. Salado, third grade, is really seeing some gains in ECR. They're doing some great things with looking at every single grade level and what does a kindergartner need to be able to do specifically. What does a first grader, what does a second grader, what does a third grader need to be able to do? And kind of bringing all the teachers together to collaborate and work on what that looks like. Math bright spots, we are seeing improvements in Math 1, 2, and Algebra 1, so that's basically 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. 5th grade at Highland Forest and Tradition are trending up. 4th grade Harmony and Salado are trending up. 4th grade specifically at Harmony went from 18% East to 52% East on their common assessment, so really proud there. And then 3rd grade as a district, all across the board, our 3rd graders are up in math. We've been focusing on math quite a bit this year, and so really happy to see that trending up in 3rd grade. Some hot spots, 2nd grade literacy is something that we're focusing on. I think we took a dip of about 9% in approaches over our CFA, so we're looking at that. 4th grade and 8th grade literacy, you're still kind of getting us a little bit. We are still working on that extended constructed response. In fact, in many cases, we have campuses that are now having students write in every single class period, every single day, trying to respond to prompts in an appropriate way that will help them score more points on the STAR test. And then geometry and algebra 2 are taking a little bit of a dip, but we're working with those teachers and those students as well. Some key next steps, we have strategic action plans for every single campus. Last month, if you'll remember, we gave some details on Legacy's plan. Every single campus is putting together a plan just like that right now. And so what you'll see is they can tell you we're targeting these 17 students in 4th grade math, and we're targeting these 62 7th grade students in 8th grade RLA. So they're down to the student, and they are down to what standards those students need to work on, and which ones are the easiest ones to get those points when we take our next assessment. So really big data guys. We're providing support and feedback on those plans every single day, and whether we're meeting with them in person or we see their plans digitally and we give comments just to kind of keep that feedback loop going. We're also doing a domain 2 calculator, which is a tool that really just lets us look at data a different way. So instead of just achievement data, it's growth data and how many points each student is getting based on their growth from the previous year. We call it the lively document because our little principal, Ms. Lively over there, so forever be called the lively document. And then having one-on-one meetings with the ILT, so Ms. Renee, Ms. Barnes are meeting with principals and the instructional leadership teams to really talk about those plans and what we're doing going forward. We've also identified those high leverage teams, so we look at the distribution for the last 5 years on the STAR test, which standards are tested the most. Then we look at all of our students to say which ones are our students doing the best at. So if we've got students that typically do really well on a standard, but right now they're not doing well, we know we want to focus on those standards because they tend to be a little bit easier for students to gain. If it's a standard that we traditionally always do really poorly on, we might not put a whole lot of effort in it right now because we might not have the time to make the difference. So we're getting down to a list. I was talking with the biology teachers at high school yesterday, and they've got a list of 7 standards that they're working in every single day so that they can meet their mark. And if you talk to anyone from any of the campuses, they can tell you exactly what standards they're focused on. Some updates with Legacy. We are still rocking the learning strategies course. So if you remember, we were targeting 200 students in 7th grade math and 6th grade RLA that every single day get an opportunity for a second teach if they didn't master the learning for the day. And then that class is going really well. It's amazing to walk in those rooms and see those kids because before they even finish answering the question, they're already asking the teachers if they got it right or not. Like they want to know, how did I do? How did I do? I was in one yesterday and the kid was like, I didn't finish. Can I just write the last sentence one more time? And then you look at it to give me feedback. And so just to see their engagement, it will like melt your heart with how much these kids are working to get better. We launched a revamp of the WIN class. So the WIN, if you remember, is like an advisory, and we did a complete reset with a new program, grouping students in a different way and really focusing on grammar grammar and writing skills, editing in RLA, and then some very specific standards in math. So that kicked off the week before last. And then our tutoring launched this week. And so we have students already tutoring. We're using a new program. In fact, we had a teacher today that's tutoring email us and say, I got a list of 50 more kids that could really benefit from this tutoring. How can we make that happen? And so it's really fun to see the teachers getting engaged and the students really doing well. Other campus plans that are happening, tutoring plans are launching earlier than any other year. So most of the time we start tutoring a little bit later, but most campuses are kicking off their tutoring right now. And we really do have an all hands on deck approach that we're seeing at every campus. We see literacy coaches, assistant principals, academic facilitators, pulling students, groups of students on the daily to help them meet their goals. We're seeing an increased frequency of data dives. We used to look at data every couple weeks and every week, and now we're hearing admin teams being like, we're looking at it every single day. We have a meeting at 4 o'clock every single day, and we're looking at the data from that day and making adjustments to what we're gonna do tomorrow. So that frequency is super, super quick. We adjusted some assessment windows. Campuses were like, we want the math data sooner. Can we test the math before the science? Because if we get the data sooner, we can act on it sooner. So doing some of those things as well. Definitely seeing some increases in small group instruction all the way. Usually that's something we see in K-5. We're seeing that a lot in middle school and even high school. The biology team was really working on that this week as well. We're seeing an increased frequency and focused teacher coaching and feedback. So in some cases, we have leaders going in and coaching teachers every single day. And in some cases, more than one time a day to really make things within the school day, just from first period to seventh period, to see a change in teacher behavior and student outcomes. We are working on some student data tracking, so we're seeing students take more agency and more ownership of their numbers and their data and setting goals. So now you can talk to kids and they can say, I got a 2 on my ECR and I would have gotten a 4 if I would have backed up my claim a little bit better, so I'm gonna do that next time. Which is really neat. That's a level of specificity and ownership that we want all of our students to do. And then vertical alignment to boost writing. So I think I mentioned Ensalado earlier, but really looking at what needs to be mastered at every single grade level so that when students have to start writing for performance on a state assessment, they are absolutely ready. That was a lot fast, sorry. Just like always, you have access to all the data. So some of the little numbers that I threw out and a lot more numbers are accessible to you on those spreadsheets, and then the external scorecard for quarter 2 is also. And if you have any questions, we'll try our best to answer.
I have only one. Ms. Barnes, you had mentioned, from my own knowledge, if nothing else, a steady decline in the attendance as you go along. Is there any collective attribute that is, illnesses, weather related? Is it more focused on the elementary, the junior high, the high school? Where's that decline?
Right now, recently, we think some of it has to do with just illnesses, but I couldn't collectively say if it, like, pinpointed per campus or, you know, like if it's elementary or secondary. I don't have that on me right now, but we
Okay.
could do some digging to find out though.
I was just curious, because
Yeah.
you said as the year goes on, I didn't know if that was just historical, that, you know, hey, if they start, everybody shows up, registers, and then everybody skips and goes on vacation. You
So
know?
just to add a little bit to that, historically, that is the trend throughout the year. Year over years, the attendance kind of wanes throughout the year. The important thing is we are seeing a little bit of that trend, and of course, this past month, we did see across our clinics, our nurses reporting that their flu and other viral type illnesses seem to be exacerbated, but overall, we compared to last year, we're up at every school, I believe, this month. So we're, like most of our goals, we're aspiring, we're stretching for 94%, and we've been close to that all year. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to item 7.2, personnel report, Mr. Toscano.
Yeah, trustees, just, you've got the copy of this month's activity from our personnel team, movement of staff. If you have any questions, would like additional information about any of the activity you see in there, please let me know, and we'll follow up with you with more detail.
And the next item on the agenda is 7.3, bond construction update.
The trustees, Mr. Thomas will come up and provide this month's construction update, we do have the update, in paper form in your miscellaneous package. Mr. Thomas?
Good evening. Go ahead and start off with Oak Crest. As you've said, they've really made some progress on that building itself. We'll continue to work through some of the HVAC, they're moving ahead on that, but we'll be close to substantial completion here in the next month, we believe. So we're making good progress on the building. After that, we'll continue to see site work being done there. We're bringing some of the, fencing that's going to go on that time as well. So we still have some work to do this next month, but substantial completion for that building should be. Ballard Middle School, we're actually constructing, they're doing construction on that last wing there as they head towards the athletic area. A little bit more progress than shown in this, slide because we had to submit last week, but we're decking, they're doing some decking on that second floor. They're coming across the front of the building. They were supposed to pour the second story slab this week, but it's actually been too cold to do that. So good progress. Site work is continuing to go on there. Utilities being run, and the building itself is coming along very well. Victory Elementary School. You can see the site there from the drone view. The building pad layout is there now. It's actually board, and put 17 piers in, or 27 actually this last week. Again, we had to pull off because they actually put concrete in there, so we had to pull off because of the temperatures again, closing the concrete plants. So making very good progress there on time. You can see the road being formed in the front, the road work's going on simultaneously with a separate contractor for us. So a lot of site work. CTU building, kind of an aerial there, it doesn't look like that anymore. The building pad has been brought in. They've been dug that out and brought base in as well. You'll see trucks going in and out of there throughout the day. But they've got those lifts coming, and that should be complete here next week. Then they'll start forming the concrete pad. So good progress on this one as well. Utilities are going in, good site work, making good progress now that we have our permit. As far as the transportation facility, we've got that to the city of San Antonio for permitting, and then it will go to Bear County. When we get that clearance, we're doing the permitting ahead of time so we don't run into the issue we had at CTE this last round where we got everything ready to go and kind of waited on permitting. We're doing the permitting ahead of time before we mobilize onto the site. This is kind of the plan. We'll bring you that guaranteed maximum price here in the next couple of months. We've refined the building. We think we're in good condition with where we're at with that project as well. We continue to work on the high school, refine that plan as well. And the elementary school, we made some good strides this last week actually, in kind of right sizing, getting some opportunities to right size some of the areas in that, so we can bring that in, kind of on budget. We got a little bit tighter budget as we move forward. And we face the escalation, of construction here in the next couple of years. So, do y'all have any questions?
Yes, not. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
7.4 CTE programs update.
Turn it back over to Dr. Norman. And some special guests.
Good evening, Mr. Toscano, President Justice, and members of the board. You might be aware, February is National Career and Technical Education Month, which is when we get to honor our amazing students, our staff, our educators, and all of the programs that prepare our students for post-secondary life within career and technical education, not just here in East Central, but across the entire country. And so this evening, I'm really pleased to have 4 exceptional young ladies that have volunteered to come spend the evening with us. And they're going to share some of their experiences that they've had in our career and tech ed programs here at East Central, as well as some interesting facts about the current status of our career and tech ed programs here. And so, without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to them, and we're going to start with Miss Macy Francovia. Macy?
much honored that I am here tonight to share a celebration with you for National Career and Technical Education Month. Each February, school districts across the country celebrate the programs that prepare students for high-wage, high-demand careers. Here in East Central ISD, we are proud to boast 10 of the 16 nationally identified career clusters with 36 programs of studies and over 100 different courses taught by approximately 60 highly trained instructors for students like me to choose from. These programs afford us opportunities to gain technical knowledge, explore career and post-secondary options, earn industry-validated credentials and certifications, practice our skills in real-world settings, and so much more. As a CTE student, my most memorable experiences have been the ones on the road. Being a member of FFA, I have been provided with many incredible opportunities to travel across Texas, visiting different colleges and competing in various events like Job Interview, where we go through the process of a real interview, and dairy cattle judging, which involves evaluating cows, solving mathematical problems, and analyzing data charts. Through my agricultural classes, I've attained my Elanco Animal Science certification, further developing my knowledge and my interests. So these trips always include waking up way earlier than anyone would want to, long car rides where you hope you don't become car sick, and I often do, and finding the best hole-in-the-wall restaurants after a long day. Though it can be tiring, the reward is always worth it, and so are the memories.
Hello, my name is Giselle. Sorry. Hello, my name is Giselle Pineda, and I'm a senior education and training student and a member of the Texas Association of Future Educators, or organization, also known as TAFE. One major benefit of CTE programs is their ability to include students like us in real-world experiences, preparing us to enter the workforce. As a student in teacher preparation too, not only am I gaining dual enrollment credit for Charleston State University, but I am also able to spend time every day on one of our ECISD elementary campuses, teaching alongside my teacher mentor, Ms. Streck. I'm happy to say that this is the type of experience is very common in ECISD's career and technical education program, as we strive to have each program of study analyzed with a practicum experience. My practicum experience this year has taught me the importance of effective lesson planning, classroom management, and student engagement. I have strengthened my communication skills and developed professionalism. I have been able to build strong relationships with students and shape their learning through assisting. Additionally, I have gained hands-on experience in adapting instruction to meet diverse learning needs of students. I have developed skills that will shape me as a future teacher, and this experience has allowed me to confirm my passion for teaching and has made me certain that this is the career for me, and I cannot wait to be a future teacher.
Good evening, my name is Katie Reed, I'm a senior at East Central High School. Through my
we really look forward to continuing to show excellence in ECIC programs, and happy CTE month to everybody. And I know that these wonderful ladies and students have families in the audience, so if you'd like to stand and be recognized or wave, we appreciate it. Thank you.
That's good stuff. Thank y'all. So, the next item is 7.5, TASB policy review session recommendations. Mr. Toscano?
Yeah, trustees, you're very familiar with the pretty regular policy updates that come out from TASB. This particular item is a little bit different. Once every decade, it's recommended by TASB that they do a deep dive in our entire policy manual. So we did bring TASB on board this year. And during the fall, we did a complete audit, if you will, comprehensive review of our entire board book. They've made some recommendations along with our staff that were involved, and that's what's presented for you today. You'll see a list of all the policies that were reviewed, along with summaries and those recommendations for amendments. So essentially, you do it about every decade to make sure that you refine the language, that you refresh it, and make sure that it's updated in that regard. So we're bringing this to you this month for your review. Any feedback that you have between now and next month's regular meeting, let us know. We'll bring it back to you next month for your consideration and possible approval.
Okay, so the next item is 7.6, policy update 124. Mr. Toscano?
And similarly, this is the policy update that would be more routine and familiar to you. You'll see TASB's recommendation for updates. The packet is included in there, as well as your local policy comparison, which abbreviates the information in there to the essence, where you can see the current policy and then the strikeouts for those recommended amendments. And again, this is for your review this month. Any feedback that you have, again, we'll take that into consideration, make those adjustments, and bring back to you those final policy considerations for your approval next month.
And the next exciting
Oh my, this is
item on the agenda
Ms.
is
Beckett, calm down.
7.7 is the Valor mascot, school and color reveal.
So, Mr. McKay, the process, I guess, Ms. Beckett, process to get to this point?
Yes, sir. Quite a bit of work went into it, from asking the students that would be attending there for their recommendations, and then going through many iterations of surveying and getting the results, which then pulled it down to a small few. From there, we took it to another smaller committee that then made the decision. At that point, we're here to share with you the new mascot and colors of Valor Middle School. So we haven't opened middle school in a while, so it's pretty exciting. So here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
So we'll bring them up to you guys now. We didn't get to you earlier, so we didn't want to reveal it, so we're bringing them to you now.
Next item on the agenda is 7.8,
Trustees, just a couple items in your miscellaneous calendar for February, March. February, you'll see that your next regularly scheduled meeting actually, it's a special meeting on the 27th. That's a mid-year superintendent review. That'll be at 5:30. And what's not in your calendar that I wanted to make sure you had line of sight on for tomorrow is the boys' basketball game. Second round playoff game. It'll actually be in Corpus Christi, 6 o'clock at Ray High School. If you need any specific information about that, let me know, I'll get that to you. But like Coach said, the game against Laredo earlier this week, Mr. Santos referred to, was phenomenal. The kids played amazing, and so we're looking forward to a big game tomorrow and a big game. Moving on into March. Among many big dates, a couple that I want to point out is spring break is the week of the 10th. The district will be closed that week. There are several athletic activities that are going on that week. They're listed there in the calendar if you have an opportunity. The 19th is our winter sports banquet in the high school cafeteria at 6:30. And then your next regularly scheduled board meeting is on March 20th, 6:30 here in the boardroom. Happy to answer any questions about the February, March calendars.
Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you. Next item, section is 8, action agenda, 8.1. It's 2024-2025 targeted improvement plan, TIP.
Yes, so trustees, this is something you're familiar with from time to time. We'll bring these forward. Of course, with the progress updates you heard earlier, you're hearing a lot of the similar adjustments that are being made at every single campus in the spirit of academic achievement improvement. In this particular case, this is linked to the accountability system and a compliance requirement. You might ask, why in the world are we looking at approving a targeted improvement plan in February when we've been implementing improvement plans and iterating those every month since school year started? Well, that's just the nature of the accountability system. It tends to be rear-facing, not forward-facing, in the way that we execute our improvement strategy is always forward-facing. So you've definitely heard month over month that what we do is really evaluate student progress as frequently as on a daily basis to make adjustments the next day. So this is a piece of the puzzle, certainly, for improvement of academic achievement. But if we relied on this alone, we would be way behind the curve, right? So with that, turn it over to Ms. Barnes just to provide the board with a brief overview of the things that you'll see in the improvement plan for tradition. And of course, what you're going to hear is echoing a lot of what you already heard that is going on in every school. I just wanted you to have a little more clarity before you consider the items. Ms. Barnes?
Yeah, so with the targeted improvement plan, the good news is Tradition's already been working on a plan, right? And so we've designed our CG plans to basically be in alignment with if we ever needed to do a targeted improvement plan, that it pretty much aligns. So some things that will bubble up in the plan that y'all have already approved in August, right, would be utilizing the high quality instructional materials, so using Amplify and Eureka is something that's already been in place. And so that's one of their strategies. Utilizing NIET, so we got a grant, and part of that grant allows people to come into their campus and support during planning, do PD, support their instructional leadership team, so utilizing them to help improve instruction. And then we also have where they're doing lesson internalization and making sure that there's time in there for that. So making sure that teachers are getting back to that, and then the data-driven instruction. Making sure that there's time for that, because we know the importance of looking at the data and being able to respond and support students. So these are things that are commonly always happening, and so this is part of the plan that they're using. I can honestly say that Tradition, they've tightened up their systems from last year to this year, and we're already seeing gains because of the plan that's being worked currently. So we're super encouraged and excited about the outcome for this year with them.
And you said this is happening at all of the other campuses?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the campuses don't have to have a targeted improvement plan, but because we have our CG plan,
okay,
everyone has something that they're working on, goals that they're working towards, strategies that we're constantly monitoring. It's just part of our system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Questions?
Does anybody have any questions?
actually been implementing Eureka. This is our third year. And that's a high quality instructional curriculum resource in mathematics. It evolved from what was previously Texas Home Learning, which was something that the agency put out really quickly during COVID when students were at home. Obviously, when you rush a curriculum, there's likelihood that it's not going to be of the quality and probably not of the appropriate rigor or alignment to the state standards. And that was the case. And so over the last couple of years, through the formalized process of reviewing curriculum and feedback from teachers who were implementing, looking at replacing resources in the curriculum resource that were not aligned with tools that were aligned, that curriculum got better. This year, they changed the name from Eureka to Bluebonnet. So it's the exact same curriculum we've been using. It's familiar to our kids, it's familiar to our teachers, the interface is the same, but the Bluebonnet version, I would say, is like 3.0 version of Texas Home Learning, 2.0 version of Eureka Math. And the whole purpose of it is to respond to the feedback from the practitioners in the field saying, this ain't a good this part of it needs to be improved for rigor and alignment. So the Bluebonnet version, which we adopted, is basically a more enhanced and improved version of the Eureka that we're currently using right now. So for next year, we'll have a resource that we don't have to put as much effort into supplementing, right? So our teachers right now and our administrative teams have been having to really supplement the resource more than they will in the future.
Will we ever use it for other subjects or just math for now?
Math for now, there is a very similar product that is Amplify, probably 2.0 Bluebonnet. Our staff's review of that was that it was quite a bit different in the interface. And so the return on investment of making that switch was going to be too big of a lift for our teachers after only 2 years to have to learn an entire new curriculum resource interface.
Right.
And so we just felt like at this particular time, that tool was not ready to be a benefit for us. Thanks for asking the question though, because we've spent time with our community this week.
Yes.
Attempting to educate them a little further about that.
And we would never bring anything on that would harm our students, only help and our teachers also. So thank you for clarifying that, because I don't like to get on social media and try to dispute. I'd rather everybody call and question and ask. So maybe if you're watching at home, there's some information for you.
Yeah. So
Yep. Madam President, I recommend board approval of the targeted improvement plan for Tradition Elementary School as presented.
So I have a recommendation from the superintendent. Do I have a motion? I have a motion from Ms. Friesenhutter. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Mr. Santos. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is 8.2 budget amendment, number 24-25-03, local maintenance.
So trustees, what we're bringing you tonight is consideration for approval of the budget amendment. And essentially, this is to bridge a gap in the expenses that we incur and are anticipating to incur through the rest of this plan year for our employee health benefits. We know that we moved away from TRS several years ago to provide a better quality and more accessible product for our employees. We're in the 5th year and happy to report that year over year, we've received great reviews from our employees for satisfaction, the quality of care, the accessibility and affordability of care. Each year we evaluate, we make adjustments, we make strategical changes with guidance from our consultant. It helps us to do that. We've added incrementally to the cost of premiums for our employees, although being mindful of being competitive. And we've also added to our employer contribution for our employees' costs of healthcare premiums. That being said, this is going into our 5th year where we're going to be in the red, right? So it's not quite been solved. And so despite all of our efforts and learning a lot more this fall, we structure to look for opportunities to make it more solvent, more cost effective to the district on the back end. I'll speak more to that momentarily in a subsequent action item, but what we're asking for you to consider tonight is essentially to move $1 million from our fund balance over to cover a carryover cost of last year's shortfall of $647,000 and the projected shortfall that we're anticipating for this year. That being said, we know that when we move into the summer months that the healthcare claims tend to escalate. We're anticipating that as always, but the trends this year have been that our healthcare premium, our healthcare claims costs have been a little higher than in any of the previous 4 years. So with that, there is a possibility we may come back again before the end of the plan year, but for right now, we feel that this is an adequate commitment. So I'd be happy to answer any further questions about this particular item.
Anybody have any questions? Any questions?
Okay, Madam President, I recommend board approval of the budget amendment number 24-25-03, local maintenance as presented.
So I have a recommendation from the superintendent. Do I have a motion? So moved. I have a motion from Ms. Friesenhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Santos. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. So the next item on the event agenda is 8.3, budget amendment 24-25-04 for construction.
This is simply a book transaction. Trustees, on February 12th, with your approval, we went to the market with the remaining $60 million of bonds from the 2022 bond program. Had a very successful sale. In fact, the interest rate we received was much lower than what we projected, so we're very pleased with that. That being said, we're ready to then book that $60 million into our construction line item. And so what you see in this particular action item is the increase of $60 million, bringing 8166 facility construction line item to $160 million to continue to complete our bond construction program. You have to answer any questions.
Anybody? So we have no questions.
All right, Madam President, I recommend board approval of budget amendment number 24-25-04 for construction as presented.
We have a superintendent's recommendation. Do I have a motion? So moved. I have a motion from Ms. Friesenhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Santos, we have a motion from Ms. Friesenhardt. We have a second from Mr. Santos. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. And then the next item is 8.4, consider and take possible action regarding the procurement of healthcare benefits consulting services.
So as I alluded to in a previous action item, trustees, what I'm asking for tonight is for your consideration to authorize me to issue a request for qualification in the marketplace to bring in a healthcare benefits consulting provider that we believe can help us reach our goal of continuing to offer the quality health benefits program that we are at a more affordable cost for the district. So we would be going to the market with your approval. We would be rank ordering those proposals, and we would be bringing those back to you for your consideration and approval once that process is complete. So be happy to answer any questions about that.
Anybody? We have no questions, so.
Go.
Questions? So, Mr. Ciscano?
Madam President, I recommend board approval to consider and take possible action regarding the procurement of healthcare benefits consulting services, including possible delegation of authority.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent. Do I have a motion? So moved. We have a motion from Ms. Friesenhardt. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Santos. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. The next section is the consent agenda. Do we have anyone that would like anything removed or pulled from the consent agenda at this time? No? All right, then I have a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?